What is going on, everyone? It's MarchJig8 here bringing you guys the news in the flash. Let's get right into things. Starting things off, we got a major update from Bungie about the state of Destiny 2. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one, guys. Players were actually promised this at the end of last year following the backlash of the Dawning event, where players were only able to acquire some of the special event items before they were forced to actually pay for special Dawning engrams if they wanted the chance to get the rest of them. This led tons of players to the forums to request that Bungie immediately remove Eververse from Destiny 2 altogether. Now, we'll start off with what has to be the biggest cancer in this game right now, and that is, of course, Eververse. It has driven tons of players away. So Christopher Barrett, who originally made the promise to release an update for Destiny 2 and is spearheading all of these changes, he's actually the game director, has released this update and says that they recognize that the scales are tipped too far towards Tess at this point in time. Yeah, you don't fucking say. The scales are tipped so bad towards her that she's literally more hated than Year 1 Cryptarch right now. Anyways, they go on to say that they never intended Eververse to be a substitute for endgame content and rewards, and that they're going to be making 3 changes with the Eververse for the upcoming events. 1, they're shifting the balances of new content in favor of activity rewards over bright engrams. This includes adding sparrows, ghosts, and ships into the achievement reward pool. 2, they'll be providing gameplay paths to earn bright engrams, event engrams, and all the contained rewards. 3, players will have more direct purchase options with the Eververse to allow them to get the items that they actually want. The other 2 changes are fine. If anything, it's kind of inexcusable that they weren't in the game already. But it's the last one that actually has me scratching my head. Because mind you, he doesn't say that they're giving players a direct way to purchase the items that they want. It just says that they're giving them a more direct way of trying to get those items. So what it sounds like to me, and this is just complete speculation at this point, but what it sounds like is they want to bring back the system where players can purchase maybe a certain package or an engram that has a chance of only dropping a specific set of items. Maybe there's going to be a rarity or a tier level to these packages or engrams where it might be, you have to pay more for rarer items. I don't know. They did something similar to this to the emotes back in Destiny 1, so I can see them doing it. But following this, we're actually getting to see these changes in action with the return of the Crimson Days events, which kicks off on February 13th. Some of you might remember that from Destiny 1. And it is open to all players, not just those who purchased the recent expansion. Some other changes we'll be getting to see includes completing the Nightfall Raid and Crimson Day milestones. During the Crimson Day, will reward you with exclusive emotes, weapon skins, and an exotic sparrow. When players level up, they'll also be able to earn both an illuminated engram and the new Crimson engram for the duration of the event, and Crimson engram will also drop during Crimson Day matches and completing milestones on each character. In my opinion, these are all good steps forward, but we'll have to see how Bungie handles it. Right now, they have a bit of a track record of giving players one thing but then taking away another at the same time, and hopefully this isn't the case. Hopefully they're finally listening and acknowledging the fan base. Moving on, though, they gave players a general roadmap to where Destiny 2 is heading, or at least where they want it to head. In January, they plan on expanding the Masterwork system by including Masterwork Armor, which provides increased damage reduction while in Super, and the option to reroll stat types to that armor, similar to how the Masterwork weapons worked. They also plan on reworking the raid reward system to now include more unique items like raid-specific mods and a new ghost that has raid-specific mods attached to it. And they also want to make sure that raid items are dropping during each major encounter. Moving on into February, they plan on reworking the mod system altogether, adding a new tower text chat for PC players, adding the ability to find Fireteam members on the destination map, and strike scoring is making a comeback for the Nightfalls, and is actually going to be replacing the time limit mechanic. Can't really say that I'm going to miss that time limit mechanic. That thing sucked ass. Moving on to spring, Bungie plans on bringing a number of new Crucible changes and features like private matches, the return of 6v6, and the new seasonal Crucible rank. Don't really care too much about that last one, but it is going to be set up into 2 ranks. You're going to have Valor rank, which players gain progression for their rank with the number of matches they win, and then you're going to have Glory rank, which again gains progression with each win, but also loses progression with each loss. Along with that, there's also going to be a number of rebalances planned, like weapon and ability balances, and exotic weapon and armor balances, along with new features like PC clan chat, heroic strike changes that include new modifiers, allowing players to choose which emote to equip to their 4 emote slots, and increasing the vault space by 50 slots, and adding a new tab altogether for exotic ship sparrows and ghost. And finally, moving into fall, which is probably right around the time we're going to be getting a major expansion for this game, if it follows Destiny 1's path at all. They have a list of items that they want to start working on, like item collections and records, masterwork exotics, and additional Crucible playlists, plus other topics they want to work on as well. In all, Destiny 2 is still very much a disappointment to me right now in the current state that it's in, but this is definitely a good step forward to try and rebuild what they've been basically breaking apart since the launch of this game. Also, I do want to say, when I asked if we'd have to wait until the major expansion for this game comes out until it actually gets good, I was joking. I wasn't being serious. But that's exactly what might happen here. They might try to use Destiny 2.5 as a relaunch for this game. I mean, hell, they did it for Destiny 1 and the Taken King. I mean, think about it for a second. Company releases a shit game. Spends about over half a year improving shit game by adding features that should have been there at launch. Relaunches shit game with all of these features plus new major expansion which adds even more features. Shit game becomes a good game, and player base screeches with joy and forgets Bungie once more. Bungie profits. It's fucking genius. That's just my speculation though at this point, but if Destiny 3 follows the same trend, we'll all know for sure. Either way around, what do you guys think about all these changes? Do you think that this is enough to salvage that dwindling player base and bring them back? Or do you think that Destiny 2 is dead in the water at this point? Let me know in the comments below, and if you guys want to check out the entire statement released by Bungie, that can be found in the description as well. Moving on, Tyler Barriss has been formally charged in Kansas for involuntary manslaughter. Now, some of you might find that name familiar, and that's because we talked about him earlier this month and is part of the murder of Andrew Finch. Tyler Barriss is also known as Swatastic. He allegedly called Kansas police to report a false hostage situation at an address he got from a Call of Duty player who was arguing with another player over a COD wager match and then wanted to SWAT him. The story goes a bit deeper than that, and I'll link my original video below if you guys want to check it out for more details. But anyways, the police show up at the address, guns drawn, ready for the apocalypse to roll over, and out comes Andrew Finch, who has no idea what the fuck is going on because he had absolutely no part in this argument between these two players and is literally just an innocent bystander. Police scream for him to reach for his head, he does, and then they say that he put him back down and they shot and killed him. Because police in our country are apparently as well trained at handling crisis situations as teens are at taking my order at McDonald's. But that's a discussion for another time. Anyways, Tyler Barriss was extradited from California to Sedgwick County Prison in Kansas, and has had a bond set on him for $500,000. If he is found guilty of this felony, he could be serving time up to a minimum of 31 months in prison, at maximum 136 months. On top of that, he's also facing charges in Canada for mischief and fraud for another alleged swatting incident, and where thankfully nobody got hurt. If you guys want more information on this story, I'll leave the link down below. Machine Head has put out a new song called Bastards, and right off the bat, let me tell you guys, if you are a fan of Machine Head, this might not be what you're expecting it to be. Expect less of a Machine Head sound and more of a Johnny Cash mixed with Dropkick Murphys with metal elements thrown into it. Me, I absolutely loved it, but I can already tell just by the sound of the song and the lyrics of it that there's going to be a huge divide between those who love this song and those who just hate it. Let me know what you guys think down below. For the Fallen Dream has announced their new album titled 6, which is set to be released on February 16th. They released the artworks, the pre-order, and a new music video for it called Stone, which you guys can check out in the description below. And finally, Black Veil Brides has released their new music video, Wake Up. I actually can't wait to listen to this new album. Check out the song below. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't, dislike. If you want more, feel free to subscribe. And as always, I will see you all on the next one. Mars out.